Okay, good afternoon. Today we're going to demonstrate how to do a crack repair, how to prep a surface for epoxies or an overlay systems. Today we're going to use a crack chaser, which has a V blade on there. We're going to chase all the cracks. We're going to go down about half the distance to open them up. When you crack chase a crack, what that does is holds the material, the repair material, inside the joint. We're going to get ready to start demonstrating it. Here we have a dust route. You want to have a vacuum system attached to it. You do not want to be breathing the concrete dust that's coming off of there. You want to turn on the vacuum? All you gotta do is follow the crack. As you can see, it's V-notch. All that's going to do is hold the material. We're going to use fortification fast set in there. Then we're going to broadcast a little bit of sand to make it more dense on the crack. We have a fine crack here. I don't think I'm going to open it up. It's a hairline, but I'm going to pour the material right over it for it to absorb. So now what we're going to get together, what we're going to do now, we're going to mix the fortification. It comes in a half-gallon containers. It's a 1-to-1 mix. You guys want to mix this? We're going to go equal parts. With this crack repair, you do not use a mixer. You box them together about 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go one more for good luck. 5. Look at that. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to fill in my crack. As you can see, it's running down. Go ahead and start putting some sand on it. Want to give me a scraper? You may have to go back and put more on because it's going to absorb into the concrete. Here in this crack here is a hairline. I'm just going to go right over it. It's already getting hot. Could use a little bit right there. It's already hot. Is it? Yep.
Want me to broadcast the sand in there?
No, we don't need it here.
Okay. Yeah, because it's hairline.
That's a hairline crack.
Why don't you need sand in a hairline crack?
Because it's not open enough. The hairline crack is not open where you can get the sand to get in there. We're just leaving the material to absorb into the crack to bind it back together.
We're using the fast, so the fast typically sets up in about 10-15 minutes, where if you were using the slow, it would be about 15 to 30.
As you can see, it's already setting up here.
Of course, it all depends on how warm it is outside, as well as the temperature of the slab. That does majorly affect the setup time.
And about what temperature is it right now?
Right now, it's 78 degrees. So this kind of crack repair is designed to make the one-day garage floor system or job prep work done in a number of hours.
How long is it taking to coat it?
Well, we're going to grind it in about 10 minutes, and then we're going to start prepping for the surface, grinding it.
As you can see here, when he first poured it, it was black. You know it's ready to be ground once it turns a solid gray color.
As you can see, that's the color it's going to get when it's ready to be grind. It's hot. It's already set up.
Yeah, this is already hard.
Now we're going to be using the Husqvarna P450, PG450. We're going to grind the cracks at the same time and prep the surface at the same time. When we're going to do an overlay, there's two ways you could do it. If you're just doing an overlay, you can put pressure wash and acid wash and neutralize it. Here we're going to do grind the surface. We're going to use CD Fine tomorrow on this. Okay. I'm going to start grinding. When you're grinding, you want to move it from left to right and go real slow. You're not here to grind what you see exposed aggregate. You just want to break the cream off the surface. You always want to have a vacuum attachment. We're going to use diamonds to profile it. Here you go.
There you go.
Always want to pick up your grinder. Want to go left to right. Yeah, I'll do the rest with the hand grinder.
All right.
Well, somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you tell us about this lovely hand grinder you're about to use, Matt?
Matt, go ahead and tell him.
It's a 7 to 9 inch Husqvarna hand grinder.
No, Metabo.
Oh, what did I say? Husqvarna?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Metabo. Sorry.
All right, we're going to use a Metabo 7-inch, 9-inch hand grinder with a dust rod. We're going to hook up the vacuum system to it. What we're going to do, we're going to go back and do all our edges with it. We're going to hit this patch here that's a little bit high, and then we're going to be ready to clean it up and get ready for the next day when we put the product down. Back up. All we're going to do now is we're going to clean it up and wait for the next day to put our product down. See you next day.
We're going to go over top of this, right? Right now you're going to see we're going to be moving rather quickly because of the sun. Yeah. It's going to start setting where we are. As tall as Mike is, he's still going to have to step out into it to be able to start pulling a broom. Mm-hmm. I need to wet the broom. I'm only putting out small amounts because if not, it'll just keep running down. Right? And just to get it started.
Done before.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Hold that. Okay. Go ahead, Mike. Mike, you want to room that? That's all. No switcher. Good. Next one. Yep.
Oh, really? It is.
It is.
That's the one thing about this. That's why when it's 95 the sun, maybe skip that air started like more than Easter. It's
Right. Yeah.
Almost
Yep.
80.
Yep.
Even the white.
Even the white.
Get like
So those little nubs that are up there, they'll just knock right off.
Do you have to grind open the concrete?
No, it just has to be porous concrete.
That's it.
Yep.
Just gotta clean it and that's it. I'll find you chemicals with oil and
All that needs to be removed. Yep.
I'll wash it or something.
Power washing is typically all that's necessary to get done, right? So there's going to be some cases that you're going to need to put down multiple coats. JP Hunt, their corporate office, they had to do 4 coats because the concrete was just so pitted, right? So if you put this down thicker, you'll start getting pinholes in it. So for that one, they just had to put down 4 coats. They knew that going in, right? They didn't want to take the time and the energy and the dust and the noise to grind it smoother. They just committed to go, okay, we'll just put down 4 coats. So underneath the very finished surface is where you put the primer coat, right? You don't have to put a primer coat underneath each one.
So how long do you have to wait till it's trained up to your second coat or your third coat? How long do you have to
All depends on this.
on this? Like 20 minutes, half hour? What's standard, like an hour?
2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours. I mean,
That's what is in the tech data sheet, but it all depends on that.
See here, it's already grind.
Yeah, you'll see it. It'll change color. Once it's a uniform color, that's when it's ready to go.
What's the minimum number of coats?
Oh, minimum?
Yeah.
Minimum's 1.
One.
But in most cases, it's going to take 2.
So if you do
more than one coat, you don't have to prime in between, where you still have to worry about that outgassing or that bubbling or pitting.
So we strongly suggest using the primer coat underneath the very top surface.
Okay, but as you layer,
You don't have to do anything
then
to
you
it.
won't have to worry about that. There,
If
okay.
you do 2 coats, then you do it both times. So.
No, only one.
Okay, no, you say
So the first coat, you don't do anything. Underneath the very top one is where you would use the primer coat. Underneath the very top one. If you do 4 coats, the first 3, nothing needs done. Primer coat, finish.
It just goes direct to concrete then.
Absolutely, as we just did.
Is there like a depth rating on this? Like
6¼ inch maximum in small, well-defined areas.
Okay, so like little pits and stuff.
And in that case, you would do multiple coats for the simple reason it's going to dry differently in those deeper areas. So you won't be able to feel them, but you'll be able to see them because they're going to dry differently.
does it matter if your concrete is hard fouled and you don't have that?
It has to be porous concrete. It has to be porous concrete.
What's like the main selling point of this? Like restoring deteriorating.
Dressing up, making old concrete look new. Sidewalk, driveways, patios. Or if you had concrete that was replaced, right? You had to replace this piece of sidewalk because of tree roots or plumbing or whatever. Now this concrete looks different than everything else, where you can go over all of it and make it all look the same color. This was 2 bags, and we still have quite a bit left in the bucket, and a whole bunch left over here. 1 bag gets you about 100 square feet per bag. You get about 100 feet per bag.
Do you have to broom finish it, or is it just for aesthetics?
Aesthetics. My hardest people I have to do this is concrete guys, because they want to finish it like concrete. This is not finishing. You're placing it and finishing it immediately.
Once you get over chip or anything like that?
No, concrete only.
Can you put anything on top of it,
Like what?
like epoxies or anything?
Yep. This is exterior. Can you use this inside? Sure, but why? We have other products for interior.